Yeah, hi. This is just kind of for me to be like, get this off my chest and shit. So it's kind of like my background story since like people are complaining that I don't really give them any real input into my life. So I guess this is kind of my reasoning behind that. And I'm still kind of sick, so I may be sniffly. Not crying, I'm just sniffling. Wait, so yeah, to like basically start it, when I was 15, my father was arrested, kind of like for that Dateline thing, to catch a predator, except not Chris Hansen because he's a fucking creeper. But basically, the FBI was involved since it was interstate from Massachusetts to Connecticut. My father dropped me off at school that morning, like, and apparently he went to West Farms Mall in Connecticut. And he was arrested that day for going to meet a 12-year-old girl. And I think he was like 45, 50, around there. So yeah. I mean, it was like back in January when I was 15. So this was 2005. So yeah. Like, my father always wanted me to be like my cousin Sean. And when I wasn't, he got really angry. Like, he was an abusive father. So like, I didn't have the best childhood ever. Mostly it consisted of me sitting in my room, just kind of there drawing and writing poetry and kind of just chilling there by myself. Didn't really go out much. Still don't do that very much. I mean, I'm like the quiet person who just keeps to himself and whatnot. Yeah. I mean, basically, like, my father was, like, my baseball coach, which made it even worse. So, like, I mean, like, one day, like, we were over at this park, like, near my house, and he got really abusive, like, in front of everybody. And I just walked home, and he got really pissed at me. I was like, really? Whatever. I was, like, 12. But even then, I, like, knew everything that was going on. Because when I was 10... This is like back in the AOL days. Like, my father used AOL, and he was using the computer before me. So he logged off but left his chats open. I logged on, I read his chat, I went to my mother, and I showed it to her. And it was like him asking for photos from this other woman, or guy, or I don't know, some other person who wasn't my mother. So I showed her, and they got in a fight while I was just upstairs in my room, locked in my room, listening to them argue and scream. And I'm on the second floor of my house, and I can hear them clearly. So then my father comes upstairs and, like, beats on my door and, like, basically breaks it down, which is great. I mean, he always did that. He broke the railing in my house, too. Yeah. And then, like, there are nights where I would wake up in the middle of the night. He'd be in my room, just next to my bed, watching me sleep. Back then, I didn't know what the hell was going on, but, like, now it's like, alright, maybe something happened. I don't know for sure. I'm not going to accuse him of it, but I don't know what was going on. Yeah. Like, I mean, he was abusive. Like, he beat me. I fully admit it. Like, I'm not going to be the person to stop it. And then, like, the day he was arrested, I mean, he was laid off, but really, he was fired for sexual harassment, which we didn't find out until, like, 2 years later. So he dropped me off at school, and, I mean, I went to a private high school. So when I saw my mother's car there, I was like, what is going on? So I texted my mother, and she told me, like, through text messages, like, hey, I'm with the dean and all these other people. I'll talk to you in a minute. So I'm like, okay, something's up with me, because, like, I wasn't the best student in high school ever. Like, in fact, I sucked. I had, like, straight C's. Funny how I got into college. I admit it. Like, I sucked as a student. I still do, but whatever. So that happened. My mother explained everything that went on and everything, and, like, my computer was seized. And, like, I was pissed at myself because I thought I could stop it back then. Because the day before, my computer was the only computer in the household, so my laptop, my father wanted to use it, and I took the battery out so that he could not use it. And he got pissed. I mean, he like smashed it, basically. I was like, whatever, I don't care anymore. So that's why I kind of blame myself, because I was like, okay, if I didn't give him the battery, which I eventually did, because I just wanted to like stop like all the fucking yelling. I mean, I felt like I could have stopped him getting arrested, which, I mean, it was inevitable. It would have happened no matter what. And I figured that out years down the line. Yeah, that's my whole blaming myself thing. I mean, the day that I found, like the next day, I got home, come out of my mother's car, I punched my house, because I'm so pissed. My house is brick, so you can imagine what happened to my hand that day. Fun times. Yeah. I mean, that night, I slept at my Bachi's house. So, I'm Polish, so like I use Polish words interchangeably. So if I do it in this video, I'm sorry. I didn't feel safe in my house. I thought he was going to come and kill me. Flat out. I still think that. I think he made friends in jail that are going to kill me. In fact, I was always so convinced through his letters that he always sent me, or like the ones that I opened. Like I opened like 1 out of every 5 that he sent me, just like see what the hell was going on. And like he was always talking about how he made friends in jail, and I was like, oh great, these people are gonna come and kill me. So I was always scared, so I stayed the night at my Bachi's house, and it's a good thing I did, because he drove past my house. Didn't see our cars, so he just kept going. So we changed the locks, and then I was like, okay, I feel a bit safer in my house. Then 2 days later, my dog died, so it was kind of like a hell week for me. Everything went wrong that could have gone wrong. It was great. Then, I mean, my father went to court a few weeks later. He pleaded guilty, which was good, because like he knew he was fucked. But I had to write a letter to the court explaining my side, and like for a 15-year-old, that was like the hardest thing ever. Basically every word out of my mouth in that letter was like a swear, like fuck or fuck you or you're an asshole or some other shit. And that was fun times. I mean, the judge read it and he was like, I'm throwing this out because this is not good for you. And like, they knew my story, and my aunt never saw that side of me because I was always the quiet, nice one in the family. And I mean, yeah. Then the next week, one of my good friends in high school got in a car crash because he dropped his cigarette, and then he totaled his car and flipped the car in front of him because he was going 90 down the highway in a 65. He was stupid, but whatever. I mean, and then my whole name change got in the way because I went to school in Pennsylvania for college for the first semester. Back then, my name was different than what it is now, so I had to change it. That got me in a lot of shit, because it changed in the middle of the semester. I mean, my professor was like, who the hell is this person? Why are you writing your name like this? And I had to explain it to him. It was just really, really awkward. So that was fun. And then, basically after that whole event, I had to go to therapy, and I got put on Prozac, because I was suicidal and severe depression and all this fun stuff. I mean, I still am, flat out, I admit it. Like, I'm still depressed. I still have that severe depression, but I'm not gonna go back to those meds, because they made me fucking batshit crazy. I mean, I wanted to, like, basically kill someone in my mind. Like, I had really bad lows, and I had really bad highs. Like, I was crazy. So eventually I just stopped taking them, and I said that I took them, and I was like, whatever. And that was fun times. So now my father's a stage 2 or 3 sex offender. I mean, he didn't attend my college graduation, my high school graduation, nothing. I mean, he tries to buy me back with like gifts and shit, but it doesn't work. Ever. I mean, yeah. I mean, like, like I said, I still struggle with like my depression and whatnot. I don't have like great friends. I don't have like, I don't know, whatever. I mean, like I've had countless like girlfriends, but like none of them really have meant anything to me. I just kind of do it out of pity and whatnot, and I fully admit it, and it sucks. I fully admit it. Like, all of them complain about the same thing. You never let me in. Then, well, this is why. Because I have trust issues. And I mean, this is kind of like why I'm making this video. It's like me to use this as an outlet to like just let people know about the shit. Like, they're all trying to change me, and it's like, don't try to change someone if they don't want it. So yeah, I mean, sorry, sniffle. I mean, like, I've never been happy in like all, like, I'm 22 now. Like, I've never been happy ever. All I've felt like all my life was like sadness and pain and depression and all this bullshit. And like, really, to me, that's what happy is. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe one day I'll be happy, like, as everybody else knows it, but I don't know. My happy is that sadness and pain. So it's a fun time. Yep.